Okay, so I'm going to show you how to load a listing into Matrix. So you're going to go into your Matrix and you have your bar up at the top, which is where you can pretty much find anything and everything. And we're going to go to Add Edit. So that's going to ask if we want to add a new listing or edit an existing listing that we already have started inputting. But we want to add a brand new listing. And it's going to give you all your options for which type of listing you're adding. So residential input, that's just a regular residential home. Rental, if you're loading a property that's going to be listed for rent. Condominium, these are the three that you're probably most often going to use. There's also multifamily, farm, land, etc. So let's go with the residential input for now. If you want to copy this from an existing listing, you can do so, but we are going to start with a blank listing. So listing rep, that is going to be you. If you're co-listing it with someone else or you're an agent on a team, you would want to add other people in here. Now you're not putting your name in, you're putting your code. If you put your name in, it's going to tell you there's incorrect information in there. Whatever the commission to the selling office is, listing conditions, yes, maybe you have no conveyance of offers until May 1st at 2 p.m. Whatever your listing conditions are going to go in there. If this is a mere posting, most of the time it's probably not going to be. If you're doing one, you can learn what that is, and all these little question marks will give you a better idea of what these things are that they're asking. That would be for another session though. Consent to contact after expiry. So if you have signed the listing documents, you would have an answer for that. In my situation, it's typically no. Seller's rights reserved, no. These are all things that we will learn on another day. You're going to put the property information in, 220 Sarah Ridge. Anything in yellow you absolutely must fill or you cannot activate the listing, okay? All of these things you might have trouble finding if you're not 100% sure of how to do this and if you've never done it before. The assessment roll number is going to be on Geo Warehouse, the property identification number, same thing, as well as your legal description, etc. As far as your map goes, typically you're going to just want to set the latitude and longitude manually. So you'd put the property address, it's going to give you kind of a radius, and then you're going to pin as close as you possibly can to where that property is, and just press done. Okay, you have to do that part or you are not going to be able to activate the listing. So this is our general area. Property structure and information. Again, you're going to input all of the information about the listing. Most of this stuff is just checking off boxes, but you do have to include everything in yellow. We do not put square footage on our listings for the Ottawa Real Estate Board, so even if you fill this in, it will not populate on your listing. Directions and remarks, you're going to give directions to the property, whatever it is that you want to put in here to tell the public about the home. You would add that in, etc., whatever you're going to put. And then rep remarks. So this is anything that you want to convey to realtors that are looking at the listing. So maybe only one agent and 2 buyers. If you are holding offers, anything that is in your listing conditions, that was back on this general page, anything you put in here should also go into your rep remarks. Anything about an offer also needs to be in the public remarks. So if you're holding offers, the date and time, that has to go in here as well. It needs to be in all 3 places. Next is going to be your rooms. So bedrooms above grade, so this is anything above the ground level, so above the basement essentially. And below, these would be bedrooms that are in the basement. Number of full baths, let's say we have 2 and 1 half bath, so that gives us 3 total bathrooms. And one of these full baths is an ensuite. So we're going to say that of the 3 bathrooms, one of them is an ensuite. Here you're going to add your room type. So let's say it's the dining room and it's on the main level, and you're going to put the dimensions of that room. More here, that's how you're going to add more rooms, and you need to have all your room details in here to activate your listing, or at least you should. Additional information, so again, if there's any rental equipment, you need to include that. Are you putting a lockbox on the property? Opt in to create a DDF, so this allows your listing to be syndicated out to many websites. I would recommend opting into that. It's just going to put your listing in more places. Property taxes, who's occupying the property, if there are any association fees. This right here is where you can post a video. So if you had a video done of the property that might be on your YouTube page or even your Facebook, you can link it right here. Same thing with additional images. So that's all of that information. Once you have filled everything in, you can press validate, and it's going to give you one of these little caution symbols by anything that may be incorrect or that you missed filling in. So you're going to go back through and you're going to make sure you have everything there. Once you're finished, you're not ready to submit your listing live to MLS yet because you don't have any photos. And you probably want to load all this in well in advance of it actually going on the market. So you're going to do a save as incomplete. So from here, you can continue editing. If you want to add or edit photos, you can do that from here as well. So you can browse your computer wherever you have your photos. You can find those, bring them in here. You can move them around. I'm not going to do that right now. It's pretty straightforward. And same thing with attachments. If you have an inspection report that you want to add, or a feature package, or a property tax bill, whatever it is that you think people need to have access to, it's just going to make your life easier to have that on file, and you're not getting requests from realtors looking for that information. So that's pretty much it. Once you have done that, and let's say you carry on with life and then you want to go back in and edit it, you can go to My Listings here, and you can click one that you want to edit. If it's already listed, if you want to work on a property that's not listed yet, you're going to go back to the Add Edit. And we have a couple here that we've been working on, so we'll go back into this one so that we can edit it. So you can go back to that residential input, you can delete the incomplete listing, manage photos, the attachments, and then showing time also needs to be set up. If you are using showing time to have agents book on your listing, you want to come in and set this up properly. So I will put that in another video and show you how to do that. So that is essentially how to input a listing. It's going to be the same thing on a condominium and the same thing on a rental. They're just going to be different information that you have to put in, but it's all in this Add Edit portion here. So I'll show you the rental quickly. We're going to start with a blank listing. It's all the same. You probably have less information on the rental side of things. So that is how to broker load a listing into the Ottawa Real Estate Board matrix system. And I hope this video was helpful, and have a great day.